don't you think it's peculiar? Don't you think it's odd that most of the people who watch my hair loss videos, and especially those who comment on my hair videos, are under the magical age of 35? We need to discuss this. This is a clue to what's going on in the bigger picture. This is interesting. As you know, it's very easy to predict if you're going to go bald. I've made multiple videos clearly talking about this. It's a matter of how old are you now versus age 35. 35, if you're going to go bald, you're pretty much going to go bald by 35. You look at a photo of yourself at age 1, that's a projection of your hair at age 35. And then from there, it's a matter of, well, how much hair have you lost so far? Keep that in consideration. Number 4, could you grow a full connected beard by the age of 18? If so, you're more likely to go bald than less. You're less likely to go bald if you have a decent amount of Asian or Native American DNA. See, I did it right there. I just rattled it out. It's that easy. I talk about it all the time. Yet people continue to talk about their dad being bald or not being bald, or their uncle being bald, or their, whoever it is, to continue to talk about hair in the shower, hair in the pillow, all these things that mean nothing to me because they're not part of the 5 things that I created. I'm openly talking about this, so let's just focus on the thing that matters. Okay, but the actual point of the video is this. Most people who leave comments and watch my videos are young. They're in their teen years, they're in their 20s. It's actually pretty rare even to get comments from people at all in their 30s, but specifically age 35. Now, part of the reason for that, part of the reason I have less people watching and commenting after the age of 35, but I've already said it. If you're going to go bald or be aggressively balding, you're going to know that by age 35. So you already have the answer. There's not a reason to watch a video like this if you're beyond that age. But what about the people who do watch my videos who are age 35 and above? Well, I've addressed this multiple times before, but it's this simple. And I'm looking at my note here because I just wrote it down as I was thinking about it. Here's what I wrote. I said, men over age 35 who care about hair loss are not married and don't have kids. So that's interesting from a demographical perspective. I have observed that yes, there are plenty of men who are 35 and never got married, never had kids. And what I'm telling you is it's those men that are more likely to care about their looks. They're more focused on that. That's more of a part of their identity. Whereas if you got married like me, almost 12 years ago exactly, got married well over a decade ago. I have a kid that's nearly 10, another that's 4. I mean, it changes you completely, your identity, once you are married and have kids, because it's not about you. You're focusing on other people. You're not focused on something as superficial as your looks. So I think it's interesting that we should point that out, that we should realize that in theory, what I'm presenting is, when you're a teenager, when you're in your 20s and you're focused on your physical appearance because you don't realize yet it's actually about being confident, having leadership skills, being funny, being able to communicate, dressing as well as you can for your budget, being healthy, having a good physique, going to the gym, weightlifting, all those things. There's a lot of things that do matter, but I've noticed younger people typically focus on high school mentality. What do I actually look like? How's my hair? But I've noticed that the men who don't get married by age 35 or have kids by age 35, they maintain that high school mentality. And I think that's interesting. I think that's worth pointing out. That's not a coincidence. It'd be when, because you'd almost think, well, why aren't there more men watching your channel that are older than you even? Why aren't there men in their 40s? I'm 39. Why aren't men in their 40s watching my videos? Well, ultimately, it's because A, they already know if they're bald or not, and B, they're like me. It's not a part of who they are. I could go bald in the morning. I'm still the same guy. My confidence is not hurt whatsoever. If anything, it's one less thing to worry about. It's like, okay, well, I'll just shave my head every couple of days. I'm good. Or once a week, shave it at 0, and I'm good. It has no importance for me. But we change our values. We change what drives us. We change our priorities as we get older. And that's why I keep saying, I don't think like a boy. I don't think like a child. But for those guys who don't get married or have kids by age 35, just by default, they're more focused on themselves, more superficial things. That's typically how it works. You get married, you have kids, you automatically grow up. Now, I did also recently make a video pointing out the fact that I personally believe if you're so focused on worrying about hair loss, you shouldn't get married. You shouldn't have kids, because you will need to focus most of your attention and emotion and care and time and energy on your wife and your kids, not yourself. There will not be room for your hair in that equation. Your comments are right here.